Jonathan Key, Staff Sergeant. Yeah, I've been in the Marine Corps for 12 years. I've done the EOD job, 3.5. As far as working in Sangin, I mean, it's been consistent. It's been consistent work. We've done as far as how long we've been here, we've done a good amount of IEDs.
Example, like, okay, a lot of people seen the hurt locker.
Absolutely. Absolutely called the bullshit flag on the hurt locker. Yeah, that was obviously wasn't a EOD tech who was a main advisor in that movie.
Right.
Yeah, everything he did was kind of dumb.
Right.
And not how it really goes.
What's a typical mixture out here?
Yeah, it's typically HME is what they're using. And when I was in Iraq, we had a lot of military grade stuff to use.
Like artillery rounds?
Yeah.
Out here it's mostly corn jug kind of shit. So when are you typically called out?
Often. Yeah. We prepared well for this deployment is what we did. Our training was focused on the threats that we will face here and suspect to face here. So obviously did all the normal Marine Corps training, but we trained ourselves from our experience that we've had here. Guys have been around for a while, been doing this, trained junior Marines, and we prepared specifically for the threat here in this country.
How many deployments does this make to Afghanistan for you?
This is my second.
Comparatively speaking to the first one, threat levels, is this worse? Is it getting better?
I think the threat level depends a lot on your where you're working, the physical environment that you're in. You know, this place, there's a lot of places in Sangin here that are congested. So when you're congested and you can't walk wherever you want to walk, and you have to walk in a tunnelized area, it makes it more. It's less open.
Right.
So you're kind of narrowed into areas. So this is a rough spot.
Right.
It's a rough spot.
Thinking back to 9/11, where were you? Your first thoughts, your reaction?
9/11. I was a Lance Corporal in artillery. Just a normal day at work. Hanging out with the boys, and we didn't have a TV in our shop. We had a radio on. We had a radio. Somebody ran in and told us that a plane hit a building.
Where were you stationed?
Campbell. So we turn on the radio, think it's nothing, and we hear a second plane hits. And then, before the radio personnel could even, start to speculate, we all knew that what the hell was going on. It came down immediately. We were all told, pretty much all of Camp Lejeune was told, go home and get all your gear and get back to work. So everybody left that day and came back ready for war. The night of the 11th, the morning of the 12th. Everybody was angry, pissed off, and ready to deploy to go kill some terrorists. And that was that attitude stayed till now.
Where are you from in the world? What town?
Copper Hill, Tennessee.
Say that a little louder.
Copper Hill, Tennessee.
Copper Hill, Tennessee.
Mm-hmm.
Is that mostly agricultural area?
Mountains.
Mountains.
Yeah, it's got big, a lot of mountains, or a lot of hills, trees, creeks.
Being kind of from the country, you feel you can relate to the farmers around here, as kind of as far as, farming community, things like that?
I can respect certain aspects of how they live out here. They're able to be self-sufficient for the most part, and I can respect that part, of their living. I like that, and I'll probably bring some, when I retire one day, I'll probably bring some of that back with me, and I'll probably have a small farm with some animals, and be able to live on my own if I need to. So I've taken that away from these people. That's probably about the only good thing I've taken out of this country.
What thoughts initially brought you to the Marine Corps?
Well, there was no war at the time. I joined, pre 9/11, but I wanted to fight. I didn't want to go pick a fight, but if our country needed someone to go fight for the freedom or one of our allies, I was more than willing to do so. So that's the reason I joined. Probably too many war movies as a kid.
Married, single, kids?
Married, 2 kids.
2 kids. They live back home in Tennessee?
No, they're in North Carolina right now.
North Carolina. What are their thoughts for your safety and welfare out here? I mean, you talk to them often?
Yeah, I'm actually able to communicate fairly often. I know my first deployment, I was gone for 8 months and got to talk to them twice. And as far as welfare goes here, it's actually pretty good. You can call home fairly often and stay in contact. Right? We have capability to do that now.
MWR's come a long way out here.
Yes. The welfare out here, as far as that goes, is I think pretty good.
What patrol base are you stationed? You stationed out of Jackson?
Yeah, I live here.
Okay. You go out on a lot of foot patrols, or you just call it out individually?
I do both.
Well, how do you prepare yourself for foot patrols? Mentally? The anxiety, just the unknown?
I've been doing this for a while. The best way for me to prepare for patrols is to drink plenty of water. Everything else is, like I said, I've been doing it for a while.
What do you think about the A&A, their professionalism? Do you think they have what it takes to finish the fight here after we train them?
I hope so. I've seen some really good A&A. I've seen some really good platoons that actually take pride in their country, and I think pride is one of the most important tools that they have. If we can instill pride in them, then I believe that they'll do well for their country. If they see it as just a job that makes the paycheck, then no. But for those who have pride, I think that there's a possible good future for them.
I understand the A&A is doing a lot of cross-training with the 0311s. Are they doing any cross-training with EOD specialists?
They're not doing any with me. So I can't answer that. I don't know.
Talk about the worst day you've had on this deployment or previous deployment. Anxiety levels. What's really been the worst?
The worst day I've ever had was on my last deployment. Just any day where you lose a friend is going to be your worst day, or one of your worst days. That's the worst part about the job, is seeing one of your friends die.
Close personal friend. Talk about some of the better days, things that have brought you a great deal of relief, put a smile on your face.
Success. It's when you have mission success, and I'm talking about larger scale things. Remember last year we tried really hard to open a school for this town. The people wanted the school. The kids wanted the school. They would come up to us and tell us, hey, they would speak a little English and be like, hey, I want to learn how to write. I want to learn how to read. And the Taliban wouldn't let them have a school. So that was our focus of effort, was to open up that school. And by the end of the deployment, it was starting to open up. Had a teacher. Had the A&A was protecting the school day and night, so kids could go. And I checked on it after I left, and it actually opened up, and the kids were able to go to school and get educated. And if that's not success, I don't know what is, because we have to educate these people. They've been oppressed for a long time, and the oppression is that the Taliban brings is holding this country down. If we can let them grow and show them how to grow through education, maybe a little bit more technology, to help them maybe make a little money, or to maybe live better off their land, and we can show them that we can give that to them and they can understand it, then we win. But if they stay oppressed and they stay afraid of the Taliban, then they're just going to live in that fear and never grow. Small mission successes are big victories, national victories.
It kind of leads to my second question. How do you think we're going to win the fight here? Education?
I think that's part of it. Give the people, and they need to understand what they're getting as well. But give the people that ability to grow. Schools, for one thing. I mean, that's just basic.
Right.
The Taliban doesn't want people to use toilet paper.
Say that a little louder.
Taliban doesn't even want people to use toilet paper.
Why do you think that is?
That's a Western thing. All right. All I wouldn't approve of that, I guess.
Right.
They don't want them to go to school. All these freedoms they don't want them to have. They want them to grow poppy. Mm-hmm. Is what they want.
You feel they're exploiting them in that regard?
Yeah. They want them to grow poppy, so they can have their money. And I think that's a lot of what it is.
What do you feel is one of the most valuable assets here?
Marines. and the ANA. All right, the Afghan national forces, security forces.
Right.
I think us with them, I mean, that's the key to stability.
If you had to pick 3 things that you'd like to see coming out of this that would change Afghanistan, benefit Afghanistan for the future, what would those 3 things be? Top 3. Education seems to be one of your...
Yeah, I think education is real important. Another cash crop that isn't opium.
Right. Agriculture.
Yeah. I wonder too, and this is just a personal thing, I wonder if we could establish any kind of industry here. You know, any kind of industrial projects these people could do to make money.
Right.
So a product that they would have to sell outside of this country and export, that's not an illegal drug. That's not something that the Taliban could directly profit off of.
So education, agricultural produce, what will be the third most important, you think? A lot of people say utilities. If they had utilities, it would make a freaking good thing. Healthcare, I mean, I'm just...
Yeah, healthcare, I don't know. Utilities, right now, I wonder if utilities would just get destroyed if we build them. I mean, you see telephone poles all over this country with no wires coming from. You see telephone poles that have been cut down by the Taliban and used for making IEDs. So I don't know if utilities is if they're ready for that yet, for us to start spending that much money to help them build utilities yet. A third thing I think would be the industry thing I talked about, not quite agriculture, but could we give them some kind of job and train them to make a product, or to, I know there's a lot of minerals in the ground here, help them start mining projects, help them do something to make money other than sell opium. Because would the Taliban be here today if we didn't have opium? If Afghanistan didn't grow poppy?
Probably not.
Is it a jihad? Is it jihad really? Or are they here because of all the opium?
Considering the intrinsic value of the Sangin Valley, this is obviously the poppy country. You think if we win the fight here and oust the Taliban, they'll move to another location that's predominant with agriculture? Or do you think that'll be a key element in shifting the war?
I think every small victory, every place that we take is a path towards winning the war. I think that yes, we secure this place, we get it set up, we get plenty of ANA or ANCOP out there to hold this ground. Yeah, they're going to move somewhere else, and we follow them there.
In a perfect world, anything you do different here? Like some people say, just pave all.
It would be give them a job to get rid of the poppy, so they don't have to grow the poppy. Give them a job, give them an industry, but they don't have to rely on that for money anymore. Because we go around and talk to these people every day, poppy farmers, and they grow it for the money. They say, well, I grow the wheat because I need to eat. I grow the corn because I need to eat. I grow the poppy because I need that money to get me through the rest of the year. And like I said earlier, I don't think there would be Taliban here if there weren't drugs, because I think they're drug smugglers. It's pretty much what the Taliban is to me. I think that's why they're here.
News of bin Laden's death, where were you? Your first reaction, family's reaction back home as far as, security and the war being over?
Yeah, I heard about it, got an email from my wife, and I thought good, I'm glad the bastard's dead. Does it change anything here? I don't think so. Because this war isn't against Osama bin Laden. It's to help stabilize this country. That's what we're trying to do. And I'm glad we got him. We needed to get him. I'm glad he's dead. But I don't really think it affects our mission here. The people are the mission here.